All right, welcome to another edition of Why This Is a Great Spiritual Song. Today we have Defying Gravity. Now, this comes from the Wicked soundtrack. Came out in 2003. All right, so this song, there's sort of like some dialogue interspersed in it. I'm not going to really go into that much. I might use some of it, but and if you haven't heard this song before, I recommend listening to it first, just so that it's fresh in your mind. And also, this is my spiritual interpretation of this song through the lens of unity, unity consciousness, non-duality. This is not a this is different than the author intention or what the through the show, right, through the musical, right. So this is my personal spiritual interpretation. All right, let's get started. Defying gravity. Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing, too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and take the leap. Yeah, wow. So that's very powerful. So this is what happens when you go on the spiritual journey, right? This is something's changed. Something's changed within you, right? Something's changed, and it's like, oh my God, it's like the world. I'm just sick of, I'm sick of playing by the rules, right? Something's not the same inside me. Something's changing, and I'm sick of playing by the rules because I've been playing by the rules of society. I've been playing by the rules of egoic consciousness, right? And I'm still suffering, right? I'm still suffering, and I'm just sick of it, right? So that's why many people go on the spiritual path, is because they're sick of playing someone else's game, right? Playing the ego game, playing the insanity out there, right? And you get to a point where I'm not going to second guess anymore, and it's too late to go back to sleep because you're starting to awaken. You're starting to awaken, and you're like, I don't want to go back to asleep, I don't want to go back to this. So you decide to take the leap, right? And for everybody out there, and if you're watching this, you have probably taken the leap. So I have mad respects for you, and because taking the leap is something which we're going to get into, that is very hard to do, and society and people around you don't want you to take the leap, right? So you close your eyes and you take the leap. Close your eyes. I love that because it's sort of like you're surrendering. You're surrendering and you're trusting a higher power. You're trusting, something bigger than you. You're trusting your truth, your eternal truth. And you take the leap, right? So to everyone out there, congratulations for taking the leap. Taking the leap. And I know it's hard, and there's many times where it sucks, but it gets better. It gets better, and you're grateful for it. All right, I don't want to get too ahead of here. It's a little windy out here. I think I'll try defying gravity. Yes, as we get a train. See, life goes on. Life goes on when you're trying to defy gravity, right? And in a way, it's like This is what this is a good metaphor, is that a lot of people are traveling on the same track. They're on the same track, and they're stuck on the ground. They're not defying gravity, right? Where it's too cloudy out, but usually there's planes there. I'm kind of near an airport, but you're not defying gravity, right? It's time I try defying gravity. I'll try defying gravity, and you can't pull me down. So this is great. This is like you're starting on the spiritual path, and you're just like, oh, okay, I'm going to defy gravity. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to go on the spiritual path. It's like that Robert Frost poem, I was in a wood, and then two paths. I came across two paths, and then, I took the one less traveled, right? The road less traveled, right? You're taking the path less traveled. And although more and more people are going on the path, it's still less traveled, right? So let's continue. I'm through accepting limits because someone says it's so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at too much a higher cost. So you're through playing the game. You're through with accepting limits, because this is very limiting. This egoic consciousness is very limiting, right? On the big scale, on a spiritual scale, because someone says it so, because everyone's playing the game, and everyone's saying you got to play within these rules, right, of egoic consciousness. And within those rules, of course, some people do better and some people do worse, blah blah blah, but everyone's still stuck in the egoic game, in the egoic rat race, right? I like this. I'm afraid of losing the love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at too much a high cost. It's like, oh, we love, it's like this love is all conditional. It's not unconditional love. The egoic consciousness love. Well, if you do this, if you act this way, if you, then I'll love you, right? If I play the game, then I'm loved or liked or whatever. But when you stop playing the game, then you're like, whoa, they don't love you any. So it's like that love, that egoic love, comes at too high a cost. It's not true love. So I'd sooner buy Defying Gravity, kiss goodbye, I'm defying gravity. So you start awakening, and you can't pull me down, because that's what people want to do. They want to pull you down. You say, okay, I'm going on the spiritual path, I'm going on the spiritual journey, and they're like, oh no, you're not. I'm there. People are going to try to pull you down. So when you go on the spiritual path, you have to, and this is why it's very difficult for a lot of people to go on the spiritual path, is because they're afraid to sort of like rock the boat. And because people around them are going to be like, because they're going to lose some friends and family members, they're not going to understand. So they're like, you stop playing this game, this egoic game, and they're going to try to pull you back down. And unfortunately, you're going to, well, it's just the way it is that some people don't want to either be around you anymore, or because you're not playing the game anymore, or you don't want to be around them because you just see how silly how they are acting and how engulfed in egoic consciousness they are, right? But they still want to pull you back down. So you have to really defy gravity and leave and say, you can't pull me down. And getting back to defying gravity, that's what it could feel like. That's what it could feel like when you have the awakening, when you have the spiritual awakening, is that you feel lighter. You feel like you're defying gravity. You feel like you're floating. You're not burdened anymore by egoic consciousness, right? Angels have wings, right? Angels have wings, and I really think that they're sort of like a representation of enlightened people, because enlightened people, you could feel like you're flying, like you're floating, right? Because for the first time you're feeling your eternal truth, which is peaceful. It's light. It's not this heavy. The egoic consciousness is very heavy. It's very burdened, right? It's very like it's like remember in A Christmas Carol that the movie or the play or whatever, Jacob Marley, the ghost of Jacob Marley he's like hunched over and he's got chains on, he's heavy, and he's like, Ebenezer Scrooge, right? It's like that's like ego consciousness, and that's what we all have around us. We just like, I'm kind of like bending down like a bird, chains of the past and blah blah blah. But I certainly have had that. I was burdened down, right? So you feel lighter, you feel freedom, right? When you have an awakening, and especially as you deepen. So it goes to unlimited, right? I'm unlimited. You feel unlimited, right? Because that's what your eternal truth is. Your eternal truth is unlimited. Now you're still in the world of form, so it's not like, you have these superhero, powers where you could literally fly over there or whatever. But there's just a sense of being unlimited, right? And then I think it's funny because some of the dialogue then is like this is the Wicked Witch of the West, right? I forgot her name, Elphaba or something like that. And she's singing this, but then her friend, I think, which is Glinda, kind of doesn't want her to go on Defying Gravity, so the other witch, the good witch, says, I hope you get it, and I hope you don't regret I hope you don't live to regret it. I hope you're happy at the end. I hope you're happy, my friend. Wait. At first she says, I hope you're happy now that you're choosing this. I hope it brings you bliss. So basically the same. Basically, your friends or people around you could be like, wow, I hope you're happy. Almost like sarcastically. Well, I hope this brings you bliss. Because everybody wants the temporary. Everybody wants the temporary fix, the temporary happiness, right? They don't want the eternal, right? Or they don't want to do what it takes to have the eternal. And then they're like, well, I hope you don't live to regret this. Because when you go on the spiritual path, I mean, for a lot of people, it could really change your life. I mean, you could change your job, you give up things, um, and it could rock your life. I mean, and it could be very difficult to do. And again, this is why a lot of people don't want to defy gravity. They don't want to go on the spiritual path because it could be very hard, right? It could be very hard. All right, so let me go back. So we continue on the story. So if you care to find me, look to me in the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly. So this is true. Everybody deserves, everybody watching this out there, you deserve to awaken. You deserve to defy gravity. You deserve a chance to fly. Okay? Everybody, no matter what your past, what, you know, what blah, 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 where you're at right now, whatever, you know, limited, whatever, you deserve to awaken. You deserve to fly, right? And everyone can, right? Everyone can. And if I'm flying, at least I'm flying free. I love that because that's what it's about, liberation, right? Liberation. You're free. That's what awakening, that's what enlightenment is all about. It's free, it's liberation. You're a free being. You're free. Ooh, there's some kind of bird in there. I don't know if you can see it. There, you're like that bird. I think that's a hawk or something. I don't know. Can you see that? So you're like that bird right there. You're flying free. See how free that is? I think you could see it. You're flying free. I love it. And to those who ground me, take a message back from me. Tell them how I'm defying gravity. Yeah. So at least I'm flying free. I love it. And to those who ground me, see, people want to ground you, right? When you start healing the pain bodies, and you're freer, and there's this natural happiness, there could be some people out there who are like, there are people out there who, because their egos are so, they don't like happy people, right? Right? And I'm sure I used to be one of those, like, wipe that smile off that face, right? You don't want you're either jealous or whatever, because you want to be free. You want to be flying, right? You want to be flying. You want to be free. All right. So we're going to go to the end, and soon I'll match them in renown, and nobody in all of Oz, no wizard that there is or was, is ever going to bring me down. That's right. So as you awaken and as you deepen, no one can bring you down. No one can bring you down anymore. You're free. You're free as a bird, right? Free as a bird. And you're soaring, and you're flying, and you're liberated, right? You're defying gravity. You're an awakened being, right? So anything, anything can happen, and you're not being sucked back down into this egoic consciousness anymore. You're free. You're free. You're defying gravity all the time. Now, this part I find is cool. So this is near the end of it. Then the people in Oz are saying, I hope you're happy. Look at her. She's wicked. She's wicked. Go get her. No one mourns the wicked. Go, we have to bring her down. We got to bring her down. And I just thought that was just very, very powerful for like, just to remember that people want to bring you down. But also in the past, a lot of women, this is called wicked. This is about a witch, right? So a lot of women in the past who had awakenings were branded a witch, right? They had those spiritual awakenings, and because the men couldn't deal with it or whatever, but they were branded witches, right? And many of them suffered. They were tortured or killed or burned at the stake or whatever. So I just thought that was interesting, and today, there are a lot of women awakening. I mean, a lot of men, a lot of women, both genders. But it's so cool that there's a lot of women awakening right now, and a lot of women teachers and everything, which is great. And because we definitely need both men and women teachers, and transgendered and non-binary, whatever. Because when it gets down to it, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman or whatever gender, transgender or non-binary, whatever you are. You can defy gravity. Whoever you are, okay? And hopefully, these videos can help, or other spiritual teachers can help, because at the end of the day, we are all the same. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman or, transgender or not, no gender. Everyone is a beautiful manifestation of Source, of God. Okay? And everyone deserves to defy gravity. Okay? So that's one of the great things that I love about this song. And the musical has a nice message too, to that. All right. So that's it. Yes, bird. There's a bird over there. That bird defies gravity. You can see that. So, love you, and hope this has helped. And until we meet again in the I'm defying gravity, beautiful now moment. Wee!